Welcome back to another episode of Legends and Legacies, where we explore the lives and impacts of remarkable figures from history and culture. In this episode, we will briefly delve into the life of Marion Suge Knight Jr., a figure of profound influence and controversy in the world of music. Marion Suge Knight Jr., a central figure in the rise of the West Coast rap scene and co-founder of Death Row Records, is a figure as controversial as he is influential. Born on April 19, 1965, in Compton, California, Knight's life is a paradoxical mix of remarkable success and notoriety. Born to Marion Knight Sr., a janitor at UCLA, and Maxine, a nurse, Knight's upbringing was humble. He attended Linwood High School, where he stood out not just for his size, but also for his athletic ability. Knight was a football star in high school, and he later attended El Camino College before transferring to UNLV on a football scholarship. Knight's initial dream was to play in the NFL, and he did briefly play as a replacement player during the 1987 NFL strike. However, the lure of the music industry proved too strong to resist. He started working as a concert promoter and a bodyguard for celebrities like Bobby Brown. In 1991, with the help of a substantial investment, Knight co-founded Death Row Records with music producer Dr. Dre. The label quickly established itself as a leading force in the rap industry, helping to pioneer gangster rap and signing artists such as Snoop Dogg, Jewel, Meshale, Nate Dogg, Lady of Rage, The Dog Pound, and many more. With its rise, Knight became one of the most influential and feared figures in the industry. Death Row Records became synonymous with West Coast rap, its chart-topping album shaping the genre's identity. However, controversies and legal issues also defined Knight's tenure. Knight's intimidating demeanor and rumored involvement in violent incidents earned him a notorious reputation in the industry. In 1995, Suge Knight saw an opportunity to solidify Death Row Records' dominance in the rap industry by signing Tupac Shakur, who at the time was serving a prison sentence. Recognizing Shakur's immense talent and influence, Knight offered to post Tupac's $1.4 million bail under the condition that he would release 3 albums under the Death Row label. Tupac agreed, and his partnership with Death Row Records began. This move led to the creation of some of Shakur's most critically acclaimed work, including his multi-platinum album All Eyes on Me. However, it also had far-reaching implications, exacerbating the ongoing feud between the East and West Coast hip-hop scenes. The East Coast-West Coast War was a rivalry between artists and fans of East Coast hip-hop scene, led by Bad Boy Records, and those of the West Coast, led by Death Row Records. It was a divisive period in hip-hop history, leading to several violent incidents and contributing to a public perception of rap music as dangerous. Knight was often at the center of this controversy. He publicly insulted Bad Boy Records and its founder, Sean Puffy Combs, at the 1995 Source Awards, which many interpreted as an escalation of the rivalry. The conflict reached its tragic climax with the murders of Tupac Shakur in 1996 and the notorious B.I.G., a prominent artist from Bad Boy Records, in 1997. While Knight was never legally implicated in either event, his image was significantly damaged, and many point to this period as the beginning of his downfall. The death of Tupac Shakur in 1996 marked the beginning of the end for Death Row Records. Knight, who was in the car with Shakur when he was fatally shot, was sent to prison for violating parole related to an earlier assault case. While Knight was incarcerated, Death Row Records began to disintegrate. Shakur was not just an artist. He was the label's flagship act, and his loss sent shockwaves throughout the music industry. Tupac's death caused a chain reaction that led to the crumbling of Death Row Records. First, it led to an exodus of some of its most talented artists. Dr. Dre, who had already been uncomfortable with the label's violent image and Knight's management style, left to start his label, Aftermath Entertainment. Other artists, including Snoop Dogg, began to distance themselves from the label, both due to Shakur's death and because of the increasingly toxic environment at Death Row. The label that had once boasted the most successful and influential lineup in rap was suddenly hemorrhaging talent. With its co-founder behind bars and its star act gone, Death Row struggled to maintain its relevance. The label did experience some posthumous success with Tupac's material, but it wasn't enough to save it. Upon his release from prison in 2001, Knight founded a new music label, The Row, but it never achieved the same level of success as Death Row Records. Legal troubles continued to dog Knight. He filed for bankruptcy in 2006 and eventually sold Death Row Records. On January 29, 2015, the events unfolded in the parking lot of Tam's Burgers in Compton, California, near a promotional shoot for the NWA biopic Straight Outta Compton. Knight was not involved in the production of the movie, but he had connections to some people on the set. An argument broke out between Knight and Bone Sloan, a technical advisor on the film set. According to reports, Sloan was not pleased with Knight's presence and asked him to leave. The argument escalated and turned physical. Knight then returned to his Ford F-150 Raptor pickup truck. What happened next became the subject of a high-profile court case. Knight put his truck into reverse, knocking Sloan to the ground. He then put the truck in drive, ran over Sloan again, and hit another man, Terry Carter, in the process. Carter, a well-respected local businessman and friend of Knight, died from his injuries. Witness accounts and video footage of the incident suggested that Knight intentionally ran over the man. However, Knight claimed that he was in fear for his life and was trying to escape. The incident led to his arrest and subsequent trial, resulting in a 28-year sentence for voluntary manslaughter, marking a grim chapter in Knight's already tumultuous life. In September 2018, in a significant turn of events, Knight changed his plea to no contest. The plea is essentially a guilty plea, and it came with a hefty sentence. The judge sentenced him to 28 years in prison, 22 years for voluntary manslaughter, and an additional 6 due to it being a third strike violation under California's 3 strikes law. With this sentence, Knight, who was 53 years old at the time, is likely to spend the majority of his remaining life in prison. Suge Knight's legacy in the music industry is undeniable. He was instrumental in the careers of some of the most influential artists in rap music and helped shape the genre as we know it today. However, his story is also a stark reminder of how a life filled with violence and disregard for the law can lead to ruin. His tale serves as a cautionary parable about the dangers of unchecked power and the inevitable fall that follows such a meteoric rise. As of now, Knight remains in prison, serving out his sentence. His life and legacy continue to cast a long shadow over the world of music and beyond, a testament to his influence and the choices that led to his downfall. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life and legacy of Suge Knight on Legends and Legacies. To ensure you don't miss out on future episodes, remember to hit the like button and subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be alerted each time we dive into another legendary life. Your support keeps this channel going and allows us to continue uncovering the stories that have shaped our world. Tune in for more explorations into the lives and legacies of remarkable figures in history and culture.